Cancer. What's up?
What's up, sisters and brothers?
All right.
Rabbies.
We got cards. Well, you see, what had happened was...
Dawn.
we got cards in low places.
It's okay. It's good messages. I mean,
it is good messages. Okay.
I kind of remember.
The first card for our card of the day. I'm going to direct you guys over here while
I guess
Alice...
I'm not going first.
Alice decided to flip her table, guys.
No, it caught under the carpet.
She flipped her table.
Funny.
It flipped. It flipped. Okay.
That's good.
So, our cards of the day, because somehow we ended up with two. The first one is called Radical Expansion.
And they're all new.
They are. Every water signs cards have been new today. Living and loving at full capacity, being unapologetically you, self-expression, boldness, having a voice, taking up space, expansion, empowerment, owning your true power, being visible in the world, having fun with your magnificence, letting go of judgment, creative exploration, radical ways of being. Okay? Let's see. It's time for expansion. You can be as big as your energy wants to be. Stop and consider anything that is holding you back. This card is the permission slip that allows you to let go of limiting stories and take up all the space you need. Have fun unleashing who you are. As bold and radical as some of your ideas or offerings might be, who is to say they are not what the world is waiting for? What the world wants.
It's not what they want, but...
Take note of any judgment of authentic expression towards yourself or others. Be mindful that creatively exploring unrefined expression may be what is needed right now. Remember to center yourself in your heart and be the masterpiece your soul always wanted you to be. Now, Alice, that isn't necessarily true. And the reason that that wasn't necessarily true, when you said it's not what they want, we as a whole know that things need to change. However, as not completely healed and in different states of healing, we also don't necessarily like change. Okay? And the only way that we're going to get to the change is to go through the change. Okay? It's like...
But here's the thing. Nobody wants to be where we are now, and the only way to get to it is through change. Mm-hmm. All right? So whether they like change or not,
it's a big
fucking deal. And that's what we're getting to, is it doesn't matter. We know that change has to happen. Mm-hmm. That's the only way that change happens. Mm-hmm. So, people are coming to this aha moment. That's so freaking simple, but we can't keep rebranding the old shit and expecting to do new shit. We got to do new shit and be radical, and I do that. I do. So I mean, I get it, and that's what I've been saying for years. You can't keep doing the old shit and expect new.
And the next card is Crystal Keys. Okay? That is hidden wisdom codes, potent information, Lemurian seed crystals, seeing your triggers as a gift, awareness of drama creating patterns, healing the earth by looking at your inner environment, and healing through awareness. Okay? Here's your strength card back. Be inspired to find the wisdom hidden in those times when you feel triggered. There is so much information within our raw and intense reactions that when you choose to be present with what is coming up and peel back the layers, great spiritual insight will unveil itself in a way tailored just for you. If we could all learn to see our triggers in the bigger picture, so much confrontation and upset would be lessened. Power struggles and fear would diminish. We would see our greater compassion across the planet. Perspective and misunderstanding would shift, and the way people want to be loved would be experienced without distortion. These are the seeds for peace on earth. This is graduating from emotional immaturity to being emotionally responsible.
Yeah, and that actually came out before the other one did. So this one is understanding yourself before you come out and be this radical everything. So, yeah, it's you have everything you need right here within you. You just got to learn what to listen to. So, I mean, I think the big picture here was I don't need the cards. Cancers have a responsibility because basically they are the Queen of Cups. They are the cup bearers. They are the ones who tend to not be the ones, well, some of us run away from emotions and we will manipulate to not have to deal. Some of us will run right in. Take charge, clean up a mess, if we can. But some people, the hard part is learning what messes are cleanable and which ones are just going to keep on dumping. And just, keep you there when you could actually be doing some good over here. You can't let people keep dumping. And this is the lesson that we're learning is this balance. Sitting in our Queen of Swords energy is our challenge. The Queen of Swords and King of Swords, because we tend to be lovers. Not thinkers. Okay. But we're the ones here with the messages on how to balance the head and the heart.
Cancers are the ones here with the messages on how to balance the head and the heart.
The reason is because cancers, being emotional, most centered in their heart space, silly cancers, they're so weak and vulnerable and better. But see, what cancers are realizing is that vulnerability is actually a superpower when it's used correctly and not shit on. So we tend to back up, but we're learning to back up from the right things instead of the wrong things now. We're learning that home is where the comfort is, where you feel at peace, where it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to, it could be old and secondhand and still be warm and inviting and real, because that's what people are looking for. And sometimes real is not the most beautiful thing in the world. It has nicks. It has dents. It has a story to tell.
Scrapes and scars and stretch marks and growing pains. Yes.
But see, the difference is that from the right side, some cancers will look at that and say, "Oh, it's damaged. I don't want it." But the right cancer will look at it and say, "Look at that. It's got a story to tell. It's more interesting." It's real. It's not hiding its scars. It's not. It's dealt with itself and it stands in its own beauty and power for what it is. That's what we're learning. The importance of being authentic. Have we all made mistakes? Oh, fuck yeah. Plenty. And if we would have known better, we would have done better. And that's what I mean. Sometimes when you see a bigger picture, if we weren't supposed to be triggered, we wouldn't have been. That's
when we learn, when we learn to recognize triggers and see them for what they are, they're an opportunity to grow. They're an opportunity to change your perspective on things. They're an opportunity for you to see things differently and to grow beyond the limitations that the trigger instilled in you in the first place.
True. But a lot of people say that that opportunity to grow is just another way where they can suck you in and shit on you again. So you have to be careful and use your discernment, which is another thing that Cancers are big about. They are one of the most psychic, most intuitive signs in the zodiac, which is also a responsibility. You know, yet you do not. And it gets us nowhere. So what we're doing is we're sitting back and we're seeing, you know, how much of our authenticity gets us when we live in our authenticity, because this is the part where we sidestep to try and keep the peace and, you know, da-da-da. And it doesn't work, because if we give up our peace, then where's the spirit come in to the situation? And that's part of the things that cupbearer is all about, that divine spirit and that divine truth. It's one half of the masculine and feminine, you know. So actually, the cupbearer is the only true feminine sign with the cup, with the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
There's another vessel barrier, a water barrier in the air sign that we talked about earlier, which was Aquarius, which is also very healing. All of this is very healing when you balance it. And that's what we're realizing, is that sometimes what we consider good isn't always good. It's about situations, not about rules. It's about what's going on in the moment and what brings balance, which is nature. And it isn't sometimes what we think it is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it takes you being triggered to make that change happen. So we're seeing the past for what it is meant to be. And we're no longer victims of it. Either that or we're manipulating, which is going to get us nowhere. So again, with the water signs right now, it's time to choose and quit sitting on the fence and trying to manipulate for your outcome. Because there is a divine outcome, and it will happen whether you like it or not. It just depends on whether you're going to be happy or sad through it. It's up to you. Anyway, that's basically the gist of everything that I had.
And this, it says exactly the same thing. The first card out was the Two of Pentacles, okay? And that is all about balance and finding what is valuable to you. Then we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I love this Eight of Pentacles because it's a person sitting in a campsite with keys all around, and they're trying the keys in a lock to see which one fits. Okay? They're finding themselves in that lock and key. Okay? And the next card is the Magician. The Magician is someone who has everything that they need within themselves. And that's what this Eight of Pentacles is all about, is figuring out that you already had what you needed to be able to unlock that lock. Now, the dead center of this spread is the Six of Swords. That's someone who's moving into calmer waters. They want balance. Okay?
That's also a head energy, too.
Yeah, well, you know, logically, life shouldn't be this fucking hard. Okay? It just shouldn't.
Well, that's because we're not living our authenticity.
It's because we're not balanced.
Right.
Okay? On one side, we have the Knight of Wands. On the other side, we have the Eight of Wands. This is a tale story of this Cancer is figuring out that the story that they've been sold of you need to grow up, you need to get married, you need to have children, you need to be this specific thing in society. Because it's always been this way, it doesn't fit their narrative anymore. They've watched too many of their family members get walked on and held back and belittled and whatnot consistently through the relationships in their lives. Okay? This is a person who has decided that they need to stand in their own power. This is the Nine of Pentacles. This is the mini Empress. Okay? And once that decision has been made for this person to stand in their own power, that's when the sun comes out. And on the other side of the sun coming out and nurturing, like Cancers do, growth happens, and we have the Empress. This Nine of Pentacles, with a little bit of sunlight and nurturing, has turned into the Empress. We might be on the Wheel of Fortune right now, but there's a transformation happening. This is the Death card. There's a transformation happening. And the last card is the Seven of Cups. This person is laying on the beach. This spirit is being pulled out by our highest selves and guided into the Empress that we are supposed to be. That divine energy. This was a very good reading. Kind of wish Alice hadn't thrown her cards, because she had some really good ones.
Well, a lot of them actually match what you were, with the sun coming out. I actually had the flip side of that, which is not standing in your own power, and again, taking on the burdens of everybody else's, that being the cleanup of the water signs,
So, this is...
My sun was upside down, so that was basically, Cancer's basically facing mostly darkness around them. So, their specific purpose is to bring the light in that case. Bring the light, bring the truth. And yeah, it's hard. You have a hard job. It's a big responsibility. But those who take it and run with it, honestly, you're going to succeed. Those are standing in your own power, but your own power comes from spirit. The truth of power comes from spirit, and spirit alone. Not the world, not, the spirit will tell you how to navigate through this, basically, to make it what you want it, or what the divine actually wants it through you. So becoming a reflection of that divine connection is huge, and we actually are, because if just be the change. Be the change. That's the message.
This is definitely a time of letting go of misplaced passions and focusing on the true connections.
Yes.
And I love the Seven of Cups card, because it actually shows the person in all forms.
Yeah, we can't see it. But
you can't see it?
Can't see it.
It's absolutely gorgeous. This person is defeated. Spirit is leaving. It's the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. It's the Trinity, and the Trinity is within yourself. It's all about the connection to Spirit, whichever way you choose to acknowledge the Most High. If that makes sense.
Well, the Most High, I mean, if you think about it, it's everything. But it doesn't, for it to be what it is, it has to be pure.
Right.
So that's what the fourth dimension is about, the messenger realm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So, but that's for coffee talks.
Right.
But that's what we got for you, Cancer. It's exciting times. Change is coming.
Yes.
Just embrace it, okay? Look at all possibilities and don't just stagnate yourself to limited at, oh, this is this and this is that and this is the way it's always been. So this is the way we need to reprogram it to make it this way again because this is what I'm comfortable with. We can't do that anymore.
No, it's time to implement that new way of thinking.
Absolutely. For balance, anyway, which is nature. And once you get nature going the right way, you can't stop it. The force of nature is, I mean, if we keep going against it, there's going to have to be explosions. There's going to have to be a really bad ending to cleanse what no longer works. Nature will do that. Mm-hmm. She will. Okay, I'm done. Y'all won't listen. Mm-hmm. She's done it before. She will do it again. But, you know, the split earth, one light, one dark, could be, you know, okay, well, maybe heaven on earth is coming, and the ones who aren't protecting the truth of the divinity of the earth itself, she's gonna shake them off. You know, who knows? But there's a split in reality coming. And it's gonna be big. And if we don't hurry up and grasp the truth of balance, then there's going to be a lot of soldiers left behind, and I really don't want to see that. Because an empty vessel is not a useful thing, so right? All life is important. Absolutely. Anyway, that's what we got for you, Cancer. That is it.
Be blessed.
Blessed be. Namaste. I got this. I got this. Okay. No, I don't.